Hello and welcome to the IDX Broker Platinum WordPress plugin webinar. Today, this is our fourth webinar on this topic, and we have these monthly. And today's topic again is going to be about the WordPress plugin, the Platinum plugin specifically. And so I'll dig into some of the details of the plugin and then also show you how it's integrated on the front end. My name is Luke Walsh, and I've been with the company for almost 5 years. And have done many of these webinars and really enjoy this kind of educating people on what's available in IDX Broker and IDX Broker Platinum. Just to note, this is a webinar about the Platinum plugin and not the IDX Broker original plugin. So if you're looking for information about the original plugin, please contact sales. You can call sales about that, or you can email info@idxbroker.com. So if you have any questions during the process, please throw those questions into the questions tab or questions box, and I'll do my best to address those questions as they come up. And if it's a question that it may be related to, let's say you have an account with us already, and you have a specific question about your account, please save that for after the webinar. That's not something that we can review or talk about, discuss with you. We would have to discuss that with you offline. If you have any sales questions, feel free to ask those. If you have any questions about coverage, MLS coverage, that sort of thing, again, probably best suited to our sales team, for our sales team. And you can reach those. You can reach our sales team by just calling the 800 number, or you can send an email to info@idxbroker.com. I'm going to record this webinar, so the webinar is going to be available after the fact. It should be available within a day or so, and we usually upload the webinar to YouTube, and we have a YouTube channel. It's IDX Incorporated, so you'll be able to go online and view any parts of the webinar. Let's say if for some reason you have to skip out of the webinar halfway through, you'll be able to come back and view it at that point. We do record in HD, so it's a fairly high quality webinar, so you should be able to see everything that you can see now. So with that said, out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. I do want to, before I dig into the details of the plugin itself, I'd like to talk a little bit about who this or what this webinar is designed to give you, who it's for. So if you're a designer or a theme developer, we have some people that have been developing themes for IDX Broker Platinum. If you're interested in more of an advanced look into the plugin and maybe how to integrate with a theme, that would probably be something that you would want to talk to our sales team about, or our developer partner representative. If you're new to IDX listings and IDX in general, or you have an IDX now and you really want something a little more integrated, and you want to know how IDX Broker Platinum integrates with WordPress and basically find out just the basics of how does it get set up, how does it work, what do I need to do to get it set up, this webinar is perfect for you. So just to clarify, that's really what this webinar is about. It's about how to set it up with the IDX Broker Platinum plugin. So in starting out, I want to show you here. This is a test account that we have. We use this test account to display the plugin and show you the front end. So what I've done here is I've gone in and I've gone to the plugins tab. Most of you should be familiar with the plugins area, and so you can just search for the IDX Broker Platinum plugin, or you can go to WordPress directly, wordpress.org, search for IDX Broker Platinum, and download the plugin from there. The easiest way to do it is to do it from within the plugins area. So there's an area where you can add new plugins, so you can come in here and just say add new, look for IDX Broker Platinum, and then add it in. So fairly straightforward. So once you've added the plugin, you would want to activate it. So here I've got it activated already. I've also got the original plugin. So any of you that are migrating from, that may be migrating from original to Platinum, they do work well together. They can both be activated at the same time. So in this case, I've activated the plugin, the Platinum plugin, now that I have it. And from here, I'll go to the settings page. Now, the settings page is it's pretty straightforward. The concept here is that we have an API key that we give you when you create an account with us. So the minute you're approved for MLS data, we send you credentials. And in the email containing the credentials, there's also an API key. Okay, so with that API key, you can take, once you've got the plugin installed, you can just add that API key and then hit refresh plugin options once you have your live account, and the system, your WordPress system, will pull everything in, and by everything I mean all the widgets that are auto-created by IDX Broker. They'll also pull in the links to system navigation, so things like address search, advanced search, email update, sign up, all these pages, and then also any custom links that you've created. So I'll get into the custom links and how that works. When you first sign up for IDX Broker Platinum and you get your account, you won't have any custom links pre-built for you. Those are links that you need to build yourself. And again, I'll show you a little bit later in the webinar how to do that. It's a very powerful tool, and in fact, we have a new option called Polygon custom links as well. So you can build a custom link that is based on a specific area, and then have the results only show listings in that area. So I'll get into that a little bit later. But your step one, get a key, refresh, and you should have your key in your email. Hit refresh, and then everything gets populated. Step two, you would go to the widgets tab. And in this case, what we have is we have widgets that can be added to the AgentPress 2 theme. So that's the theme that we're showing off here is the AgentPress 2 theme, and I think I have that right here. So this is an example of it's a theme it's a premium theme that you can buy. There are lots of different themes available, a lot of premium themes. There are some themes as well that integrate with IDX Broker directly without the plugin. One example is the Turnkey theme. That's one that you can purchase from Agent Evolution, and then they have that here. There's another. Let me see if I can find that. This one, the Realty Candidate theme, is another one that has been integrated directly, and you should be able to use that with the plugin as well. There are no conflicts with that. So, but those are themes that you can use since you're using WordPress. You can potentially choose those themes as well. But the one that we're highlighting today is just the AgentPress theme, and essentially AgentPress 2. And so if I go back here, then this is how the admin looks for AgentPress 2. So if I'm trying to customize this theme, I'm going to want to find, first of all, I'll want the front end. Let's move this over. And I'll go to the home page. So anytime if you want to visit your site, actually I'll close this, and then if I'm visiting the site, and so here's how it looks right now. So this is not a lot of customization. I've just dropped some widget in and then dropped the search widget in as well. As you can see, I could do some further customization here. So to show you where that goes, so let's say you purchase the AgentPress theme, and this is your home page. There's an area over here, and then there's an area down here that's going to be listed here back in the widgets area. So you're going to be able to add widgets. In this case, it's the footer. So if I have the footer, and then in the footer I have my featured showcase. Now this is the IDX featured showcase. All the widgets that show up through IDX Broker Platinum will show up with IDX in front. Okay, it's easy to find them that way. and easy to note where they're coming from. And again, once you refresh that API key, going back to that step 1, once you refresh that API key, these widgets show up here in the back end, and then you can go in, and again, I'm in Appearance, and I'm in Widgets. And that link is available directly through the plugin settings page as well. So then I just, would drag and drop this featured showcase. So that's what I did. I moved the featured showcase from here to here, and then the other thing I've done is, I think it's here on the primary. Yeah, so primary sidebar, I've also dragged and dropped this widget from here to here, okay? And that's the search. That's my search widget. Now I can update that title text if I want. It says search properties. I could update it to whatever I want from this field right here, right? So I have full control over that. And then you can take any one of these widgets and just drag and drop them into the sidebar, and that will show up on every IDX page. So just to clarify also, so that you understand how IDX Broker works, these widgets, this widget and this widget, are going to show up. They should show up on every IDX page as well, because IDX Broker takes all this content right here, through here, and wraps that around all the IDX search pages. So for instance, if I go here, this is an example of a link that's been created, Eugene's Home Search. If I go in here and I click on that link, you can see that there's that widget, there's my header, there's all my colors, and then down at the bottom is my widget. So that's how, for those of you that are unfamiliar with how an integrated IDX works, that's how it works. And then it's all hosted on a URL that you could potentially customize yourself. So in this case, we have a whole bunch of subdomains here listed, but you could have yours be, could be search.numberoneagent.com or whatever your site is, and then this is the URL generated by our system. And then that can also be customized, and I'll get into that a little bit later. This is an example of a custom link. And then, of course, you can, with this one, you could also, when you save the link, you could zoom in, change the zoom on this one. This link looks a little better if it's zoomed in. So going back, that's step 2. That's the widgets. So the widgets here, that's how you drop it in. And then I have a question here from somebody in regards to the webinar and recording. Yes, the webinar is going to be recorded. It is being recorded right now, and so you'll have a copy afterwards. We should be able to get that out to you within a day. It'll be sent through GoToWebinar directly. So here, if I go back to, and the question was specifically to, I have a web designer and I want them to see this and how it works. That's actually a great use for the webinar. So if you want to pass this on to your designer, that would be in some cases a very wise move. That leaves you free to work on properties and closing sales. So let's go here and go to installed plugins again. Actually, I can go to settings and then go down here. From settings, I can go to IDX Broker Platinum. So from here, let's go to step 3. So I've solved step 2. Now I want to go to step 3. And step 3 is, let's say I want to add one of these links or several of these links. But before I add them, I want to know what they look like. So I would log into my IDX Broker account, and when you first log in, it looks like this. And then I go to Designs and Pages, and this link is available in the email that we give you. So you have an easy way. You can also bookmark it. It's a very common link. So then I would go here, and if I want to see what each page looks like out of the box delivered to me, then I'll just click on the link. And here now I see that, here's my advanced search. So this is the advanced search that IDX Broker, IDX has created for me. And so that's the page. When I go back here and I go to advanced search, that's the page that I'm going to link to, right? So now I know what that page is like. I know what it I know what I want. So from here, I just go to Save Changes. Okay, it takes a minute. WordPress is generally a little bit slower than our system. That's one of the reasons why we host most of the results and details and custom searches on our system. Our system is very fast. It's hosted on the cloud with Amazon, so very quick load times, especially when you get into the multiple dozens of results per page. So that's very difficult to replicate within WordPress quickly. So here we've saved it to the database, the advanced search page. Now here is where it gets a little bit tricky for those of you that may not be familiar with WordPress and menus and how to set up the menu. So from here I've created the link. So now that link is available, but excuse me, but I don't have a menu yet. So I have, when I go to the home page, I just click on home. As you can see, there's nothing up here, and I want to add. I want to be able to add things to the menu. So I want to be able to add my IDX pages. So what I've done is I've first gone here, and as I showed you, I clicked the link to add the pages. Now, one option you could take. There's two different ways to do this. One way is to just say add and remove all. You could just say, I'm going to add every system page that IDX Broker gives me, or you go through and find the pages that you like if you want to keep it nice and clean, and then add those. Now remember always to save changes. So in this case I've already saved that change. So I'll go to Appearance, Menus, and then from here I can see that there's a page here. So I have a new page. I have my home page, and then I have my advanced search that the IDX Broker plugin added for me. So I go here, click on that, go to Add to Menu. Now there's my page, right? I could even change the label of this page if I wanted to. The link remains the same. So it still goes to that advanced search link, and I'll show you how that looks in a minute. So now I save the menu. Okay, now I've saved the menu. Now if I go back here and I hit refresh, there's my link. Okay, so I've added a new IDX Broker link to the menu, and now if I click on that link, it will take me to a page that looks like my site that's hosted with IDX Broker, and that has everything that I want in it. So it has all my search page form. Excuse me, it's the search form and then the advanced fields down here. Now from here, let's say I really want to get into customizing this page. Okay, I know how to add a menu, I know how to add widgets, but now at this point I want to customize. So customization is actually done within IDX Broker Platinum. Okay, and the reason for that, again, it's the same reason why all the pages are hosted with IDX Broker Platinum, speed, but also functionality. So in this case, let's say I want to modify the fields for my advanced search. So I would go to the fields area, and in this case, you won't have all these MLSs, but in this case, it'll ask me to choose an MLS. So, or maybe you will have this many MLSs. Either way, you can choose to customize the layout of each property type. So in this case, I'm modifying the advanced search. Let's make sure we have, this is RMLS. So I'm modifying RMLS, and as you can see, here's how it looks here. So let's say I want this page. Let's say I've created a page. This isn't just the default page, but I want to modify it, or I just want to modify it in general, and I want to hide. I want to set the value and then hide the value. So I can say, hide this value, and it's set to yes. So if I go yes, actually this isn't I apologize, yes. So I'm setting yes, and then I'm saying hidden. I want that to be a hidden value. Now that's a hidden value, right? So now Now I have what I have is I have a bank-owned search, filtered search with all these properties, and then I can save that layout. And now if this is a new page, let's say I want to rename this page to bank-owned listing search. Now I've got a bank-owned listing search. So let me save that layout. And if all works well, I'll hit F5. That's a keyword to refresh. And now you can see that bank-owned is gone, right? So the bank-owned field is gone, but if I do a search here, it will filter by all bank-owned properties only. Okay. So that's where you, and I don't want to get too far into the customization because there's so many different ways to do this. But I just wanted to show you what can be done with IDX Broker and the plugin. It's pretty powerful. So if you want to delete the page, remove it, you would just go here and then hit remove, and it'll remove, and then save the menu, and it'll do that. So let's go back here to the Platinum plugin. Okay, so in this case, so we've done step 3. So let's say you've gone through, you've created all the standard links that you want. You've got all your maybe a featured open houses page that you want. You've got your own listings. Maybe you have some sold listings, and you've added those to the menu. Okay, so you're all set there. Now with step 4, you're going to want to look at the custom links and what can be done with IDX Broker and the custom links. And for this one, initially, you won't see any fields here. So this doesn't quite represent what you will see when you first receive your account credentials. You won't see anything right here. It'll have a little link that says, go create some saved links. So it'll take you to the place where you can create the saved links, but you do have to create those yourself. So this is where it takes you, right? So this is your saved link. So you have many different options. You could create a saved search based on address, email update, sign up, and I can show you that form a little later. Advanced search, that would be that search page that we had. Listing ID, home search, or listing ID. Okay. There's also standard results for polygon search, so I can show you that in a minute. And then there's a map search as well. So you could create a map saved link. For anybody who is a designer or used to building URLs by hand, our system allows for that. So for the advanced user, that's definitely an option as well. So that just allows you to build links from hand, or if you understand what the link looks like, again, an advanced feature. But let's start out with just looking at Polygon and how that works. And let's get that link set up and added to the system. Okay. So in this case, I want let's say I want a specific neighborhood. So I want all the listings here. I'm going to do, this is sort of a quick and dirty polygon. I'll try to cover. When you're doing a polygon, you're going to want to make sure that you zoom in pretty far. So in this case, yeah, I'm not quite zoomed in to where I should be to make it a great polygon search. But if I go here and then I close the loop right there, okay, that's my polygon search, right? So that's my neighborhood. I want Harlow listings, and I've got a little bit of overlap here, but I want all Harlow listings, and I want them west of Garden Way and south of Harlow. So I do that. I create a search based on that, geographic search. And then from there, maybe I want to set the min price, max price, or maybe I want 3-bedroom and above, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and then I go from there. Let's say no min price on that. So then I go to next step. Now there are a few things here with the next step when I'm creating a link, and there is going to be a little bit of work here, a few minutes of work filling these out to get these done correctly. But the advantage is that you're creating a neighborhood search custom neighborhood search with only results within that polygon. So I can call this Harlow neighborhood. So I type that in, and then I can put some text in here in the meta tags. I can put text in the keywords area, and that's good for search engine optimization. If you can say, hey, search here or click here for results from Harlow, from the Harlow neighborhood, and or maybe something about the neighborhood, and then here I'll have this is an item called a link showcase, and this is another link, another page. I would just say yes, just leave this as yes. This is kind of a default value. You can leave that as is. And then here for the subheader, you can type whatever you want. In this case, I'll type Harlow, and just because the mic is sort of in the way of my keyboard right now, so I'm not able to type many more sentences. So here we have Harlow. Put that in there. Now, one of the advantages that if you're an office, one of the things you can do is you could actually create a link for an agent. So if you're running an office. So in this case, I'm not going to do that. So and let's say this is just an agent account. So I go here, save and manage links, and yes, good. So I created it, the link, and filled in all the necessary fields, and so now I have my link. I have a saved link called the Harlow neighborhood, and it's based on Polygon search. So now I go back here, and I'll go back and refresh my plugin settings. And what that does is it goes out and pulls from the API key, it pulls all the new information for you. So it pulls in all links and any new widgets that you've created specifically, any new pages you've created, and any new custom links. So in this case, I've created a Harlow neighborhood link, right? So I want to save changes now. Okay, so I've saved the changes. That link now shows up here. Now, if you remember, I was able to add that link through the menus area under Appearance. So I go back to Menus. There's my Harlow neighborhood link. Now I want to add that to the menu. Okay, there's my Harlow neighborhood. Maybe I rename this something. I'll just rename this to just Harlow. Harlow neighborhood under with obviously this is not as user friendly as renaming it. So I rename it. There's my Harlow. Now I go back and let's go to, where's that home page? Well, there's a home page. So then I go to the home page. Close this one. Okay, there's my Harlow. Okay, there's Harlow. Now I click on the link, and I should have my results. Okay, with my Polygon. Okay, so I have my neighborhood results for Harlow, and then I can advertise that link out. Okay, so one thing worth noting is that this isn't dynamically integrated just yet. So anytime you make a change to your navigation, if you don't have what's called the dynamic wrapper set up with IDX Broker, and when we initially set up your account, if you're not working with a designer, typically we set it up as a static wrapper. It's called the static wrapper. What that means is that if you go in here and you change your navigation around and you add some things, add widgets, add navigation to the top, basically modify your site, you'll just want to come back to this, to the Platinum page, and you'll want to go to Contact IDX Broker. That's a link at the top, and it'll just open up. Whoops. No, I didn't mean to do that. So Contact IDX Broker will send you off to, there we go, send you off to your email, and then you can email our help team. So the help team will be able to help you with that. Anytime you want to log into your control panel, you can do that here. And then if you want to reach out to view the knowledge base, you can do that here. And you can go to knowledge base WordPress. You can go to just the root knowledge base and our knowledge base info. We've got a lot of info there. Let me close these out. Okay, there we go. So anytime you have trouble, just look at the top for the links, and you can review there. So there's an unlimited number of custom links that can be created. As you can see, we've got a bunch of test links in here. You can create wrappers, or your designer can create custom wrappers for those links. So let's say for the Harlow neighborhood, for instance, I wanted to create a unique page in WordPress that is specific to Harlow and has Harlow widgets or something along those lines. I can point IDX Broker to that page, and that URL should be updated automatically. So, or the content on that page should be updated based on whatever page I've created in WordPress. So this is a bit of an advanced feature. So this may be something that if you're sharing this with a web designer, or if you're a web designer and on this webinar right now, you can contact our support team about this if you want to learn a little bit more about how that works. But basically, it just gives you the option of, let's go back. It gives you the option to, wrong one, save links. The option to create custom wrappers for those. And then you can also do custom CSS as well. So there's a lot of options done that you can apply as well with preferences, so you can come back and edit those links. And of course, you can delete those links as well. So now let's take a look at widgets, and we've already looked at how those widgets get integrated. Let's go back to the step 2. So here is where the widgets show up. Now this is where they get created. So they get created in IDX Broker Platinum. Okay. So here we have a bunch of widgets. There are a lot of widgets that get shipped with each account that are standard widgets: property search, quick search. There's a map search. Actually, I don't think the map. I think the map search you have to create on your own. Featured showcase, sold pending showcase. A lot of these are widgets that get created automatically. Now, you can also create your own widget. Okay. So, and there are quite a few different ways or types of widgets that you can create. So let's say you want a slideshow. So you want a slideshow widget that shows up on the right side of the page, or maybe even somewhere in the header. If you have an advanced designer, they could put the JavaScript in the header, and you could create a featured slideshow that goes through your featured properties. Right? So you could do your featured properties, give it a name, give it a width and height, or again, your designer could do that. And then you can even change opacity, the caption height. You can really play around with these widgets. Now, one thing to note is that with any of these settings, you can come back, and after you've created the widget, and then you've gone into IDX Broker and you've hit refresh on the API, and then you've added it to your sidebar, you can always come back and edit that widget. So if as you're looking at the widget and you're trying to customize it, you can come back and edit it. Okay. So let's just go back here, and I want to talk a little bit about for any of you that have an office. I wanted to point out a feature called a featured agent properties, and this is the option to display only the properties for certain agents, and then turn that into a widget and show that anywhere. And you can customize that widget to be whatever you want. So, and then once you've built that widget, it will show up in Manage Widgets, and then again in the widgets area in WordPress. Okay. So anytime that you want to see a widget, you can preview it. So in this case, it's previewing in the center. Let's say we want featured showcase. So there's the preview of the featured showcase. There's some overlap because it's preview, and if you were to embed this, put this widget into a post, this is how it would look. You would probably want to actually within the post. I think that it would float down, but again, if you have a designer, they can work with those widgets and really customize those. So in this case, let's say you see that your showcase, you need some help with your showcase. Your designer can come in here and modify the CSS. So there's a lot of power in terms of being able to modify the CSS. We hide that by default because we don't want to confuse everybody with too many choices. But that is always an option for those of you that may have designers or want to customize further. So that is that really sums up the IDX Broker Platinum plugin and shows most of the features that are built into the plugin. A lot of the other features are available within IDX Broker Platinum itself, and so I would encourage you to, if you haven't already, go to our demo on ptdemo.idxbroker.com, and from there you can perform a search, you can look at widgets, you can log in with this link and then go to use this username and password. You can go in and review the Polygon search and test that out. Saved links. Something else we do is occasionally, if you call our sales line, sometimes we can add an MLS to the demo and just review it with you, so that you have a sense for the MLS fields in your area. Other times we can just point out another client in that area, so you can get a sense for how the MLS looks. The other thing you can do is look at the mobile aspect of this, and this is one of the advantages of using IDX Broker Platinum. We've gone away from a mobile application and towards mobile HTML and CSS. So this is the equivalent of a mobile application in the sense that anybody that has, and this is just an emulator, so it's showing what it would look like on the phone. So if anybody taps this number, it will dial that phone number. That would be your phone number in this case. It might be your name, your logo, and then your phone number. And then here they can go through your system, and they can always contact you. They can tap on Facebook, and they can share the listing there, or they could share this. They could email. They can view the photo gallery. And again, there's a nice big contact button at the bottom. The other thing is when you get into the photo gallery, there's a nice little slideshow that looks really nice on screens, whether it's an iPhone or iPad. And I think one of the advantages of having this tool or having the mobile-friendly pages, IDX pages, is that when you send a listing out, if I go return to property, and I send a listing out, the listing will be, number one, I can have my designer customize these buttons, customize anything really on the mobile side. And then when I send these out, it's a nice clean details page, right? So when the person clicks on that email update, they're usually going to do it from their mobile phone, and they can tap on that, and it'll go to a page that looks really nice and clean. That also has your header information at the top, so you maintain that branding. And to avoid confusion, I do want to clarify there are two different ways to display mobile. You can display mobile this way, and this would be the preference, or you can do it if you get a responsive theme. You can always use the responsive theme, and then that theme will sort of roll into the mobile experience, so that the one thing you'll be missing is the header information at the top. And so there are basically two different ways to look at mobile. You can have the the separate wrapped pages like we have here, which is on, these are on by default, or you could turn those off and then rely on your theme to do that. So there's that. You can preview that. You could also view this site on your mobile device if you'd like. And again, the advantage to this is that there's no requirement to build separate code, and so we can stay on top of mobile trends very quickly because we can build with HTML and CSS. And yeah, here's a map. So this is the map widget, and so you can add a map widget as well to any of your pages. So again, you can look at that. You can look at some of the search pages, custom links, and then if you want to look at the back end, the control panel, as many of you I'm sure do, you would log in here and then log in with the IDX demo. So addressing questions now, and anybody that has questions, please please type those in now, and I'll try to address those before I wrap things up. But there is a question about the partial lists of saved links if you don't want to show all of them. You certainly can show just a partial list. Down here, it's really what you click. So if I only want to show Harlow and Springfield, then I save changes. And then again, I go back here to menus. Okay, now Springfield is there. See, nothing shows up until I actually add it to the menu. So now I add it to the menu. There it is. I can move it around too if I want. I could have it be a sub item, or I could move it there and then save. Okay, and then if I visit the site, and then there's the links. Okay, so it sounds like I may have misunderstood the question, but for those of you that were unclear on that issue, hopefully you're clearer now. So in terms of saving multiple sets of saved lists for different areas, the answer is yes. You can save. I think what you're trying to say is that can I have an unlimited number of links for a given area? And the answer is yes. We do not put any limits on links. So you could technically have the same results anywhere and just have them named differently. But we would encourage you to set them up to have very, very unique links for each, and then get into that. On the SEO side of things, you call it long tail, where you're capturing areas or keywords that are important niches. Now there's another question here. The question is, are there any SEO benefits to adding the custom links? There are definitely SEO benefits to adding those links, and one benefit is that if you add the link, and then I think it all really comes down to how you add the link. So let's say you create a Polygon search, and I'll just do a random one here. So let's say I create a Polygon search, and then I go in here. The page title is related to the SEO or search engine optimization, so keywords in the title. The link URL can contain keywords as well. The meta tags description can contain a call to action. So, view sites or view results or properties in a specific area, because this is the meta tags description is usually what shows up below the link when Google indexes the page. And we have a lot of clients with a lot of great indexed pages, some with 80,000 pages and above. That doesn't mean that they're all the highest quality, or they're all getting indexed or all showing up in results, but it does certainly help to have a lot of pages indexed because it tells you that Google is crawling your site. So here we have tags, keywords. Keywords is really not as important on the SEO side. And then down here, this is probably the most important piece. Put in a subheader, put some unique information. Put something unique about that area or about that link, and that's going to help you tremendously. So then you save your link and you're good to go. So, and then it looks like I have another question here about the sidebar and how to add a slideshow widget to the sidebar. So going back to IDX Broker and the go back to the plugin, and if I go to widgets, it's really the slideshow widget is like any other widget. So if you put it in, you have your primary sidebar. In this case, each theme may be different, so each theme may show a different area here, and so you may need to play around with these items to know where it's going to show up on the front end. But primary sidebar, and then let's say I featured slideshow, and I want to drop that in. I can drop that in here, and let me give it a name, featured listings. And this is the featured slideshow that's out by default. It shouldn't fit, but I'm taking a little risk here in just dragging and dropping this in and showing this to you, because sometimes you have to do a little bit of customization to make it look right, or you may have to do that on the back end. In this case, it looks great. So I dragged it, dropped it right in, and now there's your featured listings, right? And then that should rotate through. I believe that it's not rotating at the moment because of the webinar recording or the webinar that's going on, but that should do a consistent refresh for you. Yeah, I think it's stalled out because of the webinar. So that's how you would drag and drop the featured listings in, or the featured slideshow. So unless there are any other questions, I'll go ahead and wrap up this webinar. I can point you towards our IDX Broker site, and let me get you that. And specifically our coverage page. If you're curious about your MLS, how to add IDX Broker to your site, but for your specific MLS, and whether your MLS has any specific rules or any fees, anything like that, you can look that up by going to the coverage page, MLS list, and then you can even see when it's refreshed. There's the Order Now button. There's also the cities, the board associations are listed here, and then if there's a pass-through fee, you'll see that here. Sometimes an MLS will add notes for an MLS because there's a certain restriction, or there's something that that you need to know about that MLS because of the area that you're in. That will show up under here in notes. Now in this case there isn't anything because there's nothing to share with you. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to be paperwork. Once you fill out the order form, you can sign up. Our MLS coordinators will get back to you with the paperwork if there is any. And in some cases it's auto approval, but in many cases there is paperwork, and then that needs to be signed by you and the broker. And then once we get that back, our turnaround time is usually about 24 hours on those emails. So when you can get those in, if not sooner, and so we can get you set up pretty quickly. And then once you get approved, once we get the MLS sends us the information saying that you're approved, then we ship your website credentials, and then that's when you then get access to. Let me go back here to the plugin. That's when you get access to this API key, and we send the credentials along with the API key, and then you can plug that API key in and pull things in, and then start working on it. So that's the process. Again, if you have any more questions, if I can get back here we go. If you have any questions about IDX Broker Platinum, definitely feel free to call our sales team. We're available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday Pacific time, and you can also email us as well. So if you click on the contact form, you can just send us an email. There's the team in our office. We're located in Eugene, Oregon. We've been around since 2003. So in fact, we hit our 10-year mark about 2 or 3 days ago. So pretty excited about that. Anyway, again, if you have any questions, give us a call. Our support line is also available. Once you get signed up, we have some of the best support around. Our support team is highly technical, very well trained in helping you find the answers to your questions, and the response is fairly quick as well. So, once again, thank you for attending the webinar, and we hope to hear from you soon. Have a good day.